Hey guys, welcome to another Gutsy video. I'm super excited for today. If you've read my blog, you know that when I go into baking something, I don't have everything figured out from the beginning. And today is just like that. I really wanted to bake a cake because I just got a new cake decorating set. Well, I just got a cake decorating set. And I really want to use it. Don't have all the normal ingredients that you would use for baking a cake, but I got all the substitutes. So I'm looking forward to making this cake and decorating it because I finally bought powdered sugar so that I can make buttercream. And so I'm super excited. Let's jump into it and get started. Getting started with the flour, adding the sugar to it. It's brown and white sugar. Just trying to put all that good stuff together. And then we have the butter that's coming up next. Here we go. I thought the butter was soft enough, but it seemed like maybe I should have melted it a little bit. I always leave my butter room temperature, but it seems like this time it didn't really take too well. Also, I probably should have creamed my butter and sugar together. Oh well, mistakes were made, and I'll just remember to do that next time. And if you see that I don't do that next time, please call me out on it. Now we're getting the eggs in here. Doesn't that look like a double yolk? Huh. That looks so cool. That was just one egg. But I swear it looked like there were two in there. Now we got another one. It's starting to come together. It's actually starting to look like cookie dough, which definitely not what I'm making, but you know. Adding the vanilla. Can't make a vanilla cake without your vanilla extract. Don't let anyone tell you any different. That was the baking soda and vinegar that I had added before. It's very hard to get the baking soda out when the vinegar comes out first. Just get baking powder, make your life easier. That is the sour cream. That was not in my ingredient picture. I realized I had it in the fridge last minute, so I just added it because I know it's a good substitute for milk. I know I also added some water in here because the cake mix is very thick. See, it kind of looks like ice cream. Don't forget to flour your pans. I think I buttered and floured my pans because I was so afraid with the cake being so dense that it wasn't actually going to be nonstick. So I got them in there, smoothed them out, and they came out pretty beautifully. Now, before we get into this cake decorating section, I just want to warn you that this cake was mostly made so that I could learn how to use the cake decorating set that I got. I have never used cake decorating stuff before. Never had a cake turntable. I'm cutting my cake like I'm cutting out a circle, and then I'm building it with like the cake remnants. So it's probably not going to be pretty, but I want to make it 4 layers without making more cake and making it so big because it's literally 2 people in this house, and to have that much cake in the house is dangerous. So you're probably going to see a lot of butchering of the cake, but I am working very hard to make the finished product look like a beauty. So let's see how it goes. All right, let's get to chopping up this cake. Gotta remove the little crunchy edges here. I don't even know why I did that. If I knew I was cutting out the inside of the cake, I could have just did this afterwards, but I was just really excited to start cutting on the cake. Plus those edges were super crispy. Also, what kind of knife would you even use to cut off the crispy edges of a cake? I was really at a loss. I spent like a good 5 minutes trying out different knives before I decided on this one that still isn't very sharp and I don't think should be used to trim the edges off your cake. Maybe I shouldn't have waited until the cake was so cold to start cutting the edges of the cake. So I just used the bowl to make a hole. This was actually super fun for me. I like cutting off the edges. The cake looks perfect like this. I don't even know why I tried to make 3 layers. Buttercream time. This is my first time using that, I don't know, icing buttercream spreader thing, and I had too much fun with it. Also, I know that there's not going to be enough buttercream in this cake. I was really afraid that I did not make enough. That's one of my flaws. I'm afraid that I never have enough, so I always do too little. So, yeah, my inside of the cake is gonna be pretty tragic. And to be honest, even the buttercream itself is way too sugary. It's a good thing I made this cake for decoration purposes and not actually to be eaten, even though, you know, we totally ate the cake. So you see my butchered insides. There has to be a better way to do this, but I don't know what that way is, so this is what I went with. This is why I cut off the edges of the cake, because I didn't want you to bite into the middle of the cake and it'd be like super hard and crunchy. This is where this buttercream spreader really came in handy, because man, I don't know if it's even possible to spread the buttercream on cake like this with a knife, you know, because that's how I put icing on my cake, with a butter knife. So this thing, lifesaver. Also, this turntable, super great. I love this decorating set. Looking back on this, I'm just super disappointed in my buttercream choices, because I'll tell you, I totally had buttercream left over because I just didn't know what to do with, and I was trying to think of ways that I could get in the cake and add it to the middle, but then I figured that'd be way too much, be a whole disaster, just like me trying to cut this piece of cake. Yeah, see that piece that I just let go? Trust me, of all the pieces of cake that I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna find that hole again. When the sides of the cake is so like comforting. It's so, yeah, comforting and like therapy almost. The sides are my favorite. I thought I would hate it because of how difficult it was to fix that middle piece of cake, but man, it was a good time. Look at me fixing up my little messes. Totally not a great job, but I think it looks pretty cute so far. My piping tip that you can barely see. And I filled up my piping bag. Oh, I do want to mention that this buttercream has actually been colored. It's peach color. I have those like little boxes that you buy of the gel food coloring, and the ones that you just stick the toothpick in and color the icing that way, and it worked out pretty well. I had to use it like 6 times though because I didn't think you would be able to see it on camera, but it looks pretty good. I can tell that it's peach colored. Look at that. First time using a piping tip. I think it looks pretty cute. Probably should have like frosted my cake better, but I was really excited to use the piping tip, so don't hold that against me. I promise the next time it'll be much better. And I'll probably do like cupcakes so that I don't have to butcher a cake to use my piping tips. My camera kept running out of space and I didn't know that that was happening. So that's why I have so many jumps in my icing video. Cool to change the piping tip and do a different design on the bottom. But then I realized I was just making the cake ugly, so I did eventually stop. Look at that. Finish it off with the initials. VJ for VJ's Bakery. I had a good time making this cake. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, like and subscribe.